Alright, hey guys, me again, you know who I am, and today I'm going to show you the importance of armor stripping in Warframe and like basically stat stripping an enemy and why it's like super duper important. So I have Blast on my Vacor hack, and the reason I did this is because for this target I want to show you what it's like without like taking any armor off, or like basically, you know, everyone's been talking about enemy scaling, armor scaling, etc. And I'm going to show you like the difference with and without, because a lot of people have been asking me like what elements you should use on a gun, and generally I'd say corrosive, and I'm gonna like here's why I generally say corrosive, and most people just put corrosive on their weapons, but in this case, like I said, I have Blast, so this way it doesn't strip any armor. And I just want to show you what that's like against a level 135 heavy gunner. Alright, finally. Now I'm going to use the same weapon, and I'm going to use an augment for Ash. And you don't have to use an augment, because there are weapons that strip armor. But I'm going to show you with Ash's Seeking Shuriken ability, and show you how much quicker this is, and why you want to just get rid of enemy armor. Well, that took a little longer than I thought it would. That was a little rough. So let's just do that again. I want to get aggro off that heavy gunner. There we go. As you can see, it took me a good 6 shots instead of like the fucking... I nearly ran out of ammo the last time. And you can do even more damage to an unarmored target if you just switch to viral damage. Sorry, this build for the heck is terrible, and I never use this gun. But let's switch to viral. Three shots. Right. So generally, if you don't have a Warframe that can just strip armor, like Ash or Banshee or even Zephyr, what you can do is just basically use corrosive essentially on your weapons, because that's just going to be a lot faster. Like for instance, I'm going to use my Tigris Prime now, because that has a ridiculous amount of corrosive. Or what you can do is get a weapon that has a fuck ton of status, like the Tigris Prime and that X-Stiletto Prime, or even the Kogake, because there's a mod called Shouting Impact for impact weapons, and then that'll strip armor forever, like stagger essentially. You can almost stagger. You can stagger an enemy indefinitely with these or the Shaku and stuff like that. So, in fact, I'm gonna show you something. Before I do this, since I'm gonna use Radiation Viral on the Tigris Prime, on the X-Stiletto Prime, I'm gonna use Corrosive and strip the armor away from the enemy. Oop! Didn't mean to do that. And armor is gone. Oop! I didn't mean to throw a shuriken at you, but. Yeah, stripped armor and took out more than half the health with the heavy gunner there. But X-Stiletto Prime's good weapon, super good weapon. Of course, there are other cheaper weapons that can do this as well. Like for instance, the Brighton Prime can do this, but it's gonna take a while because it'll stun like the enemy. I don't know about the Boar Prime because I haven't tried it with that yet. Tis can do this. In fact, it's probably the best weapon in the game for just stripping armor, because it has a 50% status chance by default. 50%. That's ridiculous. Now, I don't actually have the Tis, and I probably should get one, because I don't even think I have this leveled up for mastery yet, but holy shit, man. Get a Tis, get an Axolotl Prime, or some other, or the Pox. Pox is really good. And that can strip armor off the enemy as well. Breton Prime can do it too, just to a lesser extent. And of course, since it has such a high status chance, I'm pretty sure I can get this thing up to 100% status chance. But obviously it's an assault rifle. No, I don't have any forma on this gun at all. Look at this mess. Ooh, shit. Yeah, and then there's the armor is gone. Obviously, once the armor is gone, the corrosive bonus doesn't really apply, and that's why generally you want to put like corrosive heat, because you can't really put corrosive viral on anything unless it's the phage, and the phage kind of does low damage, but I guess you guys get the gist of it. And the thing is, even doesn't matter what kind of armor type, because heavy gunners are actually weak to corrosive damage. Now, if we get a bombard here, and they're weak to radiation, but the thing is, as long as it's arm, what gun should I use to just show you how ridiculous this is? Yeah, let's just use Tigris Prime. Tigris Prime with corrosive damage, or excuse me, radiation damage. Sorry. All right, let's use a Soma Prime of radiation damage. So I'm just gonna put in, where's my heat? There it is. Alright, so Soma Prime, radiation damage. Corrupted Bombard. And of course the corrupted versions are way more powerful than their normal versions. I don't know if, I didn't see a rocket. Oh, I see it now. Oh shit. Oh fuck. Okay. Well, I accidentally killed it by falling off the map, so let me try that again. Well, he died of slash procs. And in case you guys don't know, slash procs do finisher damage, and finisher damage ignores armor. And I'll talk about that a little bit later. But as you can see, that kind of took a while. Now, if we put corrosive damage, it doesn't matter what kind of armor, as long as it gets rid of it, rid of that armor, that said armor, it doesn't need to be like weak or strong to that certain element. Getting less damage numbers, but now it's my damage numbers getting bigger and bigger and bigger because the armor's going away. And as you can see, it's dead. Pretty fast. Now I can do this even faster with like a viral damage on like say a Soma, but instead of a Soma, I'm going to use a Tigris Prime, which has radiation viral, and I'm going to strip the armor off with Ash. One shot. That's a night and day difference. I only have one former on this gun too. And I don't remember what I added to this gun. But I think it was another V for prime point blank. But even then, you really don't need that, because just as soon as that armor's gone, their effective EHP is essentially goes with it. So what armor really is in this game is it's a pure damage reduction in the and it calculates sort of like percentile. Like you can calculate a number to a percentile. Like for instance, Ash has 150 armor at base, or Ash Prime rather, and that's a 33.33% damage reduction. And Valkyr, who has like 600 armor, that's a 66.67% armor reduction, or damage reduction, sorry. So armor is just pure damage reduction, and obviously that gets higher and higher with level. And since bombards have a, for instance, I'm just gonna take an example of bombards, and since they have like a lower base level, their armor is gonna grow even faster because they start at a lower level, and essentially just as hard to kill at base as the heavy gunners. All right, now I'm gonna talk about finisher damage, and finisher damage completely ignores armor. And why would you, instead of just stripping the armor off, why would you just ignore it? Why don't you just ignore it? Like Ash's Bladestorm ignores finisher damage. I'm gonna show you why I don't use fucking Ash to fucking use finisher damage. And also his teleport uses finisher damage. I'm gonna talk about that a little bit later. But I don't, because a lot of people tell me it's like, well, you don't need Seeking Shuriken because Bladestorm ignores armor. Well, here's why I don't use Bladestorm as a reliable source of finisher damage. That takes a while, and that was just one enemy. And granted, you could go even faster with Bladestorm if you have like a fast weapon. In fact, if you put say Prime Fury on this thing, his animations are a lot faster. So I'm just gonna do that as a better example. Uh-oh. That still takes quite a, like, granted that wasn't too long, but that was still one enemy. Like that's gonna take a while for high level enemies. So what I generally, if you don't want to like say strip armor, and this is a lot, ignoring armor is a lot riskier because you can't like just ignore armor from range supposedly. Well, without Bladestorm, Bladestorm is pretty not too great at that. Ash and Excalibur and all the enemy characters that can blind in this game. And proc finisher. Oh, fuck. Or they're just going to ignore it for some reason. There we go. And melee weapons generally have a pretty high finisher damage. But with daggers, they have a mod called Covert Lethality, which makes it lethal damage on finishers. This does not include ground finishers, however, but lethal damage on all other finishers. Which is generally why you'd probably want to use a character that that's not only strips armor, but can ignore it with, like, say, finishers. Just pick a frame that can proc finishers or strip armor, stuff like that. Because Excalibur can do this to a lesser extent, too. I'm gonna just shank him. I don't know where those rockets are going, but he's instantly dead with Covert Lethality. Excalibur can do this. I wish the other starter frames could do this too. Wukong, to a lesser extent, can proc finishers as well. And he's also pretty dangerous if you use slash procs against him. Oh. Should have grabbed energy. So he can just go in Cloud Walker form, which is technically his, like, invisibility. And he can just die. And also, when it comes to, like, performing finishers, there are some enemies that just can't have finishers performed on them, like Ospreys and, like, some of the Bursas. And I don't think I have a Bursa scanned, so let me just show you that too while I'm at it. Spawn in one of these. Well, I died before that could ever work. So let's try this one more time. Now, Moas, I believe, have finisher animations, but I don't think Bursas do. And he's in a corner too, so. Now, obviously, since they're opened up the finisher damage, I can just use, like, they're doing, like, everything's doing 4 times damage here. and it's doing finisher damage. I mean, that's another way to do it from range, but even then, wouldn't recommend it. And that's why I play Ashe a lot, generally. Because he can just strip armor from range, and he can just... Or he can go up to the enemy with, like, 2 of his abilities and just do finisher damage. But anyway, guys, that's the importance of armor stripping. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.